Well, it's nothing to do with an incarnation, clearly. The descent, I'm sure, is the descent into the grave, the world of the dead, from which he ascends. So it's not to do with ascending from a pre-life in heaven, because there's no other evidence for that at all. And taking the captives there is a reference to those of us that he has taken captive to himself and given gifts to. That would be the people of God. So the descent there, I'm sure, is the descent at death, the 3 days, Friday to Sunday, into Hades. Subsequent then his ascension to the right hand of the Father, where Psalm 110:1 kicks in, where he's the Adonai, the my Lord, the human being, capital H, capital B, the human being now super exalted, extremely highly exalted, at the right hand of the Father. The man Messiah, 1 Timothy 2:5, says it all very easily, putting an end to all dispute, one would hope. There's one God, that's the Father, 1,300 times in the New Testament, and one man Messiah, Jesus, at his right hand, at that super elevated position.
You mentioned Hades. Can you define
Hades, of course, is the world of the dead. It corresponds to the Hebrew word Sheol.
So the Greeks translated it.
Absolutely. And
Sheol is Hades.
Sheol in the Septuagint would be Hades. In the New Testament, Hades is the same place exactly where all the dead go, without distinction, the good and the bad, and they're sleeping there. They're in a state of unconsciousness, the sleep of the dead, Psalm 13:3. Daniel 12:2 is the key verse here, which should put an end to all problems. Many of those, this is a prophecy there in Daniel 12, verse 2, many of those who are currently sleeping in the dust land, the land of the grave, gravedom, we might say.
Is that Sheol?
Sorry?
Is that Sheol?
That's Sheol, of course. Well, no, not Sheol in Daniel 12, but otherwise, yes. No, that's just the land of dust. Otherwise, though, where the dead are, not particularly in that verse, but the idea is the same. It is Sheol to which one goes at death. You fall asleep, and you join your fathers who are asleep in Sheol, and then you arise from that state of death.